Hey folks, it's Mo Flowers here with Flowtex Energy. I appreciate you taking the time to join us today because what we're going to walk through could be truly life changing. We're talking about an opportunity that has potential to put $20,000 or even more a month in your bank account, all from one simple decision that you make today. That's what this Trident 2 project is all about. Now, this is a 4-well program built for both quick cash flow and also long-term growth. It's right in the middle of a proven Texas field that's been producing oil for nearly 100 years. Everything here, from the geology to the infrastructure, is already proven and ready to go. This is an area that we have been drilling in personally for the past 15 years. My partner Andy Whitehead runs the operations, and he knows this field better than anyone. His dad, Marvin Whitehead, was one of the early pioneers out here. He discovered these fields, one of those guys who saw potential where others didn't. Now, that same experience and instinct still drive our approach today. Only now, we've got the advantage of modern three-dimensional mapping and seismic technology to back it up. But before we go any further, let's talk about risk, because that's an important part of any honest conversation. There is absolutely no such thing as a guaranteed oil well. But here's why we're confident in this program. 2 of these wells are called development wells in zones that have already been proven to produce. We're just going to offset in zones that we're producing now, using seismic technology to locate the spots that still have oil in there to get. So once those wells are online, they're designed to start generating cash flow almost immediately. Within a couple of months of you investing, you should be getting checks in your mailbox based off of that production. And the beauty of this project is that we don't have to hit all 4 of these wells to make a lot of money. In fact, we designed Trident number 2 so that even if one of these wells doesn't perform the way we expect, the other 2 or 3 can definitely make up for it. Even with partial success here, our investors are still positioned to see very strong returns. We don't have to go 4 for 4. Even if we only hit 2 of these 4 wells, an investor in this project is going to make a very, very good return. But let's talk about why oil and gas, and specifically why now. Put simply, the world still runs on oil. Cars, planes, shipping, manufacturing. Oil and gas is still the foundation of our global economy. Oil prices are sitting pretty in that $70 a barrel sweet spot, which means our wells are very profitable. The demand is there, but the supply is actually tightening. U.S. producers have cut back on new investment, and global reserves are under pressure. That's the recipe we want to see for stable rising oil prices. All the returns I'm talking about today are based on the $70 barrel in oil just 2 years ago, and it's heading in that direction now. Oil prices were over $100 a barrel, and they could very well get that way again. That's why we're excited about this field. It's one of the Texas' most productive corridors in southeast Texas, and our experienced team and state-of-the-art technology are all set to bring even more of it out of the ground. This isn't a tech bubble or volatile stocks where you have to worry about your investment. This is real infrastructure producing tangible oil income flowing into your bank account every month. Couple that along with the IRS approved tax deduction savings that you'll get. It's a no-brainer for an accredited investor like yourself. Before we get too deep into this project itself, let me tell you a little bit about who we are and what makes Flowtex different. My name's Bo Flowers, as I mentioned. I'm the president and founder of Flowtex Energy. Since 2014, I've drilled and completed over 50 producing wells and managed more than $50 million in investor capital and built a track record of consistent and monthly distributions to all of our investing partners. That consistency doesn't happen by luck. It comes from experience and discipline. Now, you probably saw a few other oil and gas ads around the same time that you clicked ours. Everybody's promising the world. Well, the difference is this is what we actually do. We're not marketers. We're not trying to sell drilling projects. We're the operators. We lease the rigs. We run the wells. Me and my team are in that field every day making sure these projects perform so that not only investing partners like yourself get paid every month, but the main motivation we have is so Flowtex gets paid every month as well. Everybody is in this project together, shoulder to shoulder. I've got over 20 years in the business, structuring partnerships and managing field operations from start to finish. And our operating partner, Andy Whitehead and Whitehead Resources, is a second-generation oil man who grew up working these fields. He runs our projects with precision, like clockwork. The other principal, Jimmy Branch, oversees our financial side, making sure that every dollar is tracked, every investor is paid on time, and every well stays profitable. Behind us is a full team of petroleum geologists and geophysicists who use both legacy well data and cutting-edge three-dimensional seismic imaging to pinpoint the highest potential zones before a single bit ever touches the ground. We don't guess. We plan, we analyze, and we execute. That's the difference between us and the companies that just talk about opportunity. We built a proven track record of actually delivering it. All right, now let's get down to business and talk about the Trident 2 project specifically. This project is made up of 4 different wells that we're going to drill, carefully designed to create a balanced mix of low-risk development wells and moderate-risk exploration wells. Each one of these is strategically plotted along proven East Texas trend lines that have been producing strong results for decades. Here's how it works. When you invest your capital, it goes directly into the drilling and completion of these 4 wells. Once we bring a well online and it starts producing, we sell that oil to the purchaser, and the revenue from those sales is distributed between us and our investors based on their ownership percentages. So in essence here, you're not just investing in one well, you're getting ownership in 4 separate income-producing assets. Think of it like owning a piece of 4 different small businesses, each of them generating its own cash flow. One well might hit a strong, steady producer. Another might outperform expectations altogether, and together those wells create multiple independent revenue streams working for you month after month. That's the structure and the beauty of Trident 2 program. It's built for balance, cash flow, and long-term upside. These wells produce for over 10, sometimes 20 years. That's monthly income for you, month in, month out, for over 20 years in some cases. Let's start with the first well we're going to drill. It's called the Odyssey Prospect, and this well is being drilled in Jasper County, Texas, right in the heart of one of the most productive regions in southeast Texas. We're targeting the Miocene Formation, which has already produced over 1.1 million barrels of oil in this immediate area, all drilled and produced either by me, Andy, or his dad. And it's still going strong. Our target depth here is only around 4,800 feet, and we're drilling directly offset from 7 proven producers that have shown incredibly consistent results over the years. These aren't wild guesses. These are data-driven offsets where we've already seen success. With Odyssey, we're expecting initial production rate, if we hit our goals, in the range of anywhere from 75 to up to 250 barrels a day or more. Our target midpoint there is about 150 barrels a day, and that's what we're hoping to get on a conservative basis. And to put that in perspective, if this well performs in the way that we anticipate, that level of production can generate each investor on a unit position here over $10,000 a month. All from this well alone, depending on oil prices at the time. And here's where it gets even more exciting. We've already drilled nearby key wells in the same field that have produced in that range. We're not just guessing at the production rates. We're in the same field, the same zones, expecting the same production rates as wells that we've drilled in the past. The Odyssey location mirrors that same geologic structure, depth, and same formation, which gives us a high degree of confidence that we can replicate those results here. It's also designed with immediate tie-in potential, meaning once it's drilled and tested, we can get into that production quick. Get investors their monthly income fast. Then we've got a project, the next well is in the same field, one very similar to it. It's called the Trojan Prospect. And this is a development well in the same field in what's called the Sally Withers Lake Field. And we're targeting some untapped attic reserves that have remained isolated because of a fault compartmentalization. Short version is there's a sizable little pocket there that the seismic has identified that our wells have not got yet. We're talking about between 60,000 and up to 130,000 barrels of oil left in this one prospect, and we're going to get it. It's low risk and high reward well with immediate return potential in a proven field. This is a solid performer waiting to happen. The third well of the program is called the AF-193 prospect. We're drilling in the Areola Salt Dome in Hardin County, Texas, a field with a long and fascinating history that we purchased in 2021. The Areola Salt Dome was first discovered back in the 1930s. We still have all the well logs from the first wells drilled here in 1931 and has produced over 7 million barrels of oil from nearly 250 wells that have been drilled in this field. It's one of the most historic East Texas fields that helped fuel the early American energy production, and today it's 100% owned and operated by Flowtex Energy. Our location has two faults just south of the historic producing block on the northwest flank, and that's the same structure that's been producing for almost a century. The analog field immediately to the north of our location produced 95,000 barrels from a tiny 7-acre closure, and our structure has spans even bigger than that, almost 9 acres, giving us a little more room and a lot more upside. We're targeting the Frio formations. Both have proven pay zones in this field, and the expectation here is anywhere between 75 barrels a day on the low end to even 250 barrels a day or more on the initial production rates, with expecting to get up to 150,000 barrels of total oil from this well alone. And just like with the Trojan and the Odyssey, if we're able to get 100 to 150 barrels from this well, that's an additional almost $10,000 a month to you per unit. And because we already have the infrastructure in place around the dome, tanks, pipelines, separators from our existing production, we're operating 41 wells there in that one area alone. That means a faster tie-in and earlier cash flow, just like in the other projects. It's not another new test. It's a continuation of a story that's been producing for nearly 100 years, and we're writing the next chapter with the AF-193. Now, finally, we've got the Shrek natural gas prospect, and this is a little different. It was identified using the most state-of-the-art artificial intelligence program in the industry. It's a machine learning program called Paradise that analyzes seismic using that AI technology to identify areas where oil and natural gas are found that were not able to be seen using traditional seismic analyzation techniques. What it found here is an exciting prospect. We're projecting between 1.2 and 1.5 billion cubic feet of natural gas, along with about 20 to 30,000 barrels of oil. It's sitting right there for the taking. If this technology is right, we've got a monster on our hands. Now, you might be asking, why a gas well when the others in this program are all oil? And here's the answer. It's all about where the market is headed. Right now, the demand for natural gas is exploding because that's what powers these massive data centers that drive the artificial intelligence boom that you've probably noticed over the past couple of years. Every new AI model, every cloud server, every big tech company expanding its infrastructure, it all runs on natural gas. And the natural gas is the bridge fuel that makes that possible. At the same time, supply in the U.S. is tightening. With fewer rigs running and inventories dropping, that imbalance, the rising demand and shrinking supply, is what pushes prices higher. And that's exactly why we wanted to include a gas component in this Trident 2 program. It gives our investors diversification and exposure to both oil and natural gas, and a front row seat to one of the most important energy stories of the next decade, powering the AI revolution. So the Shrek prospect isn't just another well, it's our way of positioning this project right in the middle of what's next. Now, before we wrap things up, let's talk about the tax strategy for Trident 2. That's a big deal, and that's probably why you clicked the ad in the first place. We do this for the income potential, but this is a big deal, especially because of the intangible drilling costs that you get to write off this year of this investment. 100% of the IDCs are deductible this year. That means a one unit position is setting you up to make over $20,000 a month in income. About 80% of that investment, of that $225,000, is going to be tax deductible. That means you're going to get to write off about $180,000 this year. So that means if you're in the top tax bracket, like me and the rest of my investing partners, and you're paying over 40% of your money to Uncle Sam, you're going to give, of this $225,000 investment, you're going to save $70,000 on your taxes next year. The IRS is paying you $70,000 this year to drill these wells, so that makes it an absolute tax no-brainer. You do this project, your check to the IRS next April will be $70,000 less than it would have been if you don't do this project. Now let's get to the part where everybody's been waiting for. That's the returns. We've covered the field, the wells, and the tax strategy, but this is why we do it. The Trident 2 program gives investors the kind of upside you can't find anywhere else right now. Like I mentioned, one unit is $225,000, and like we talked about, roughly 80% of that's tax deductible, which means the IRS immediately gives you back around $70,000 the next tax season. That alone brings your true out-of-pocket expense for this investment closer to $150,000. Let's talk about what that can turn into. Scenario one, let's call it a conservative case, and let's say two of the wells come up soft or even dry. The other two wells perform moderately at around 100 barrels a day combined. You're still looking at a monthly income of around $9,000 a month per unit, which puts you on pace to recoup your full investment in roughly 18 to 24 months, even what we call a low case scenario. But let's look at scenario 2, what we call a base case. If all 4 of our wells hit, but just at a moderate level, we don't knock any of them out of the park, and we just get a total of 300 barrels a day from all 4 of these wells combined, that's about $9,500 per month per 100 barrels, or $25,000 a month per unit. And that's before you even count the tax write-off. Now let's talk about a home run case. If all 4 wells perform like the Odyssey and the AF prospects are capable of, and we get 500 to 1,000 barrels a day, you could be looking well over a 300% annualized return. These aren't fantasy numbers. Those are pulled straight from real wells that we've drilled in this same region. And here's what I always tell people. That's why we do this. You can't get that kind of tax advantage, monthly cash flow, or upside potential in real estate, stocks, or even crypto. This is a no-brainer. You're looking at tangible cash flow in your pocket every month if we hit our goals, and this is the kind of income that isn't just a drop in the bucket. Looking at enough upside to turn this into realistically life-changing income for many of these investors. You're looking at a potential for over $250,000 a year coming back to you if we hit our goals, and we're doing it in one of the most proven fields in Texas. Ran by a team that's been delivering for Flowtex for over a decade, but in general with Andy and his dad, almost 50 years out here. Now, there are only 25 units available in this project, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you've been waiting for the right opportunity, this is it. Now, I know a lot of you want to do your due diligence, and that's exactly what you should do. What sets Flowtex apart from their competitors is how transparent and verifiable we are. You can look up on the Texas Railroad Commission and verify all of our active production, check our well history, and see our track record for yourself, and we encourage it because credibility is everything for us. From there, the next step is simple. Go through that detailed project outline. It's all the details of the project, and you'll understand it a whole lot better now that you've listened to this. Write down any questions you have. Email those questions over to jay@flowtexenergy.com immediately. And if you don't already have your follow-up appointment scheduled, do that ASAP. Remember, this is Trident number 2. The Trident number 1 was a tremendous success, so this project will sell fast. Don't be left on the sidelines. Thanks for your time today, and we look forward to working with you in the future. I'll be in touch.